Hi students, from today onwards I have decided to take organic chemistry series in which I will be taking a few reactions, some transformations or some mechanisms, and I will be focusing on those part. Not only that, the related chemistry, that related reactions. Also I will be explaining logically so that you need not by heart those reactions. You will be understanding these reactions very easily. Okay, and after all these things, a few days after, you will think that organic chemistry is very much easy for you. Okay, so please stay connected for organic chemistry series. Okay, from for the first day I have taken this reaction. See, you have to prepare one iodobutane from one butanol from one chlorobutane and but1ene. Okay, so I will be explaining you this very as simple as possible. Okay, very logical also, so you need not by heart and you need not think organic chemistry is such a it's very difficult for you. You will not think hereafter. I hope. One butanol. Okay, so you have to convert one butanol to one iodobutane. So the name suggests what it is. A butane, 4 carbon must be there, so it is CH3, CH2, 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 OH. In the first carbon there is an alcohol group. Okay, so in one iodobutane, what is that use? You have to replace that hydroxyl group with the iodine, So in short, I am going to concise this. See, ROH to RI. Okay, this is the goal. Okay, so what do you think, students? How can we achieve this instead of OH? This iodine. See, the reverse reaction, you are very much familiar. You could be familiar that simply by using any hydroxyl source. What is that hydroxyl source? Any strong base such as sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide or barium hydroxide. Okay, any hydroxide, easily you can achieve this. But is the reverse is true? Can you do this either by treating with iodine? Can you do this? No, it is not. You cannot do this. Why, students? See, here the carbon and the halogen bond, any halogen bond, okay, be it chlorine or bromine or iodine, the carbon is of this size, your halogen will be of this size. So the overlapping will be very less. So the bond will be what? The bond will be very weak. Okay, so here you can use the nucleophile such as OH minus to bring about this change. Easily you can cleave and you can achieve this, but the reverse is not true. Why? See, here your carbon and your oxygen, both are of similar size, almost same size. The overlapping will be more and the bond will be very strong. So just by using any halogen, you cannot achieve this. This is not as easy as this reaction. Okay, so first you understand this one logically. So what you have to do? See, if this is not possible, how to achieve this? See, the reactions of this type will be using any one of this, either an acid or a catalyst. Please remember, or a catalyst, or phosphorus, or this is phosphorus, or sulfur based reagents. Any one must be very much important to achieve this. Why, students? I will tell you why. See, this acid will make the OH to protonate, thus makes this bond very much weak. Okay, so what happens here? When you treat with any H plus, any acid, the protonation takes place. Okay, thereby this bond gets weak, thereby you can easily cleave. Without acid, the carbon-oxygen bond is very strong. A catalyst does the same purpose. What is the beauty of using phosphorus and sulfur-based reagent is, you see a carbon and oxygen. If you introduce any phosphorus or sulfur, what trick we are using is, the oxygen has more affinity. Affinity means attraction, affinity towards phosphorus or sulfur, so that this bond, okay, it cleaves the bond and it will goes along with phosphorus and sulfur. This is the key. Okay, so now I will explain a set of reactions by which we will achieve this. Okay, see here, R is purely alkyl and not aromatic, you should remember. So R is purely alkyl. It can be straight chain, branched chain, anything, but no aromatic. Okay, so here OH. So the first reaction we could see is HCl and Zn chloride. We are using an acid and a catalyst. Okay, so this is purely for preparing RCl. Okay, so the next reaction where you think of is PX3. Why I am writing X3 is it is applicable both for chlorine and bromine. So you can prepare the alkyl bromide as well as alkyl chloride using this method. Okay, PX3, phosphorus pentachloride or pentabromide. So along this you will get 3 molecules, and along with this you will get the phosphoric acid. Okay, so the another reaction you can use only for preparing the alkyl chloride. Why I am writing the starting side product is these are also very much important. Okay, while treating with PCl5, what is the byproduct, they will ask. This is very important. This method you can prepare only RCl. Okay, so the another method is SOCl2. This is also for preparing RCl, only alkyl chloride. Okay, so the another method is using red phosphorus. See, phosphorus we are using here, red phosphorus, and the corresponding halogen. Here the halogens are bromine and iodine. So you can use prepare only the corresponding bromo compound or the iodo compound. Okay students, the one more method to prepare the iodo compound in higher percentage is you can use potassium iodide and phosphoric acid. Okay, greater than 95% you can get. Okay, so these things you have to remember students. See, this is what Lucas test. Side by side we are revising the reactions also. Lucas reagent, and this will answer quickly for tertiary and moderately medium speed for secondary, and not at room temperature for primary. Only when you heat the temperature the primary alkyl halides will respond. Okay, so this is what Lucas test. We are using a catalyst here, we are using a phosphorus here. Phosphorus is what? The oxygen has more affinity towards phosphorus, so hence it can break the bond easily. Here also we are using the phosphorus, here we are using the sulfur, again phosphorus we are using, again we are using acid. Okay, so without the acid, catalyst or phosphorus or sulfur based reagents you cannot achieve, it is not easy to achieve the reactions. Okay students, so which method we can use? What was the question? 1 butanol to 2 1 iodobutane. So I can use this for sure. I can either use this method or this method, red phosphorus in presence of this one. Okay, so CH3, CH2, CH2OH can be achieved through 2 methods. Okay, can be achieved through 2 methods. What are they? So potassium iodide in presence of acid, phosphoric acid. This is one method. This is also right answer. And another answer is red phosphorus in presence of iodine. This is also a right question. 1 chlorobutane to 1 iodobutane. So while seeing this looks very simple, isn't it? Instead of this is indeed it is very simple only. Okay, see here. See, in presence of chlorine you have to put iodine. You have to replace chlorine with iodine. So immediately I tell you students, see here Rx to Ri. Okay, where X is equal to chlorine or bromine. Okay, it is a very simple reaction. You have to use sodium iodide in presence of acetone. That's it. If it is chlorine or bromine, easily you can replace with iodine. What is the reagent? Sodium iodide acetone. What reaction it is? It is Finn-Kilston reaction. Finn-Kilston reaction. Okay, this is very easy and we have achieved it. You see, then but-1-ene. What is but-1-ene? There must be 4 carbons. In the one position there is an ene, so there is a double bond here. So the rest of the valency I am going to fill with hydrogen. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 already there, so only one hydrogen. So this is a elaborated structure. So this is the concised structure. Okay, so one butene to one iodine, one iodobutane. So how to achieve this, students? This is an unsaturated. See, any unsaturation to saturation, this if the valency, if there is no double or triple bond, we call it a saturated molecule. This is unsaturation to saturation. You have to remember. See, unsaturation to saturation. To saturation, you have to think of addition reaction. Addition reaction. What is addition reaction? No eliminating group, only incoming group. Some group comes and add to the double bond. Some groups come and add to the double bond. What is substitution reaction? One man is coming in and another man is going out. One nucleophile is coming in, one nucleophile is going out. This is substitution. Addition is you are adding to this double bond. If there is any unsaturation, you can really think of the addition reaction. So what group has been added, students? If you closely look, what are the things that has been added? You have added an hydrogen iodide. Correct? That is the difference. One hydrogen here and one iodine here. So if can you think of this one? Can you think of this one? Double bond. Simply if I add hydrogen iodide for addition reaction, what rule you have to think? Addition reactions, if you come across addition reaction, you have to think of Markovnikov's rule. What does Markovnikov's rule suggest? If you are adding, okay, if you are adding across a double bond, okay, so how can you write this hydrogen iodide? H plus iodine minus. Markovnikov's rule says that the nucleophile of the incoming group goes to the least substituted carbon. Which is the least substituted carbon here? Sorry, it goes to the most substituted, most crowded carbon. If you see this carbon and this carbon, okay, so the nucleophile, this is the nucleophile HI, okay, it ionizes like this, H plus and I minus. I minus is the nucleophile here. So where it will go, this carbon or this carbon, which is comparatively less substituted. This carbon is crowded. You see, if you see, this carbon is attached to this carbon as well as this carbon. We usually don't count the hydrogen because they are very small in structure. This carbon is attached only to this carbon, which is more crowded here. This carbon is more crowded because it is in between these two carbons. So the iodine will go to the most substituted carbon. That's what your Markovnikov's rule states. Okay, so in an addition reaction, the nucleophile of the adding reagent, the nucleophile of the adding reagent will attaches to the most crowded carbon and the hydrogen to the least crowded carbon. So as per the Markovnikov's rule, if you add like this, see, if you add like this, you will get only this product. This we call it as Markovnikov's product. The addition reaction used to follow Markovnikov's product. But you need this one. The iodine has to go to the least substituted. Okay. So what you have to do? What you have to do? You have to change the thing. How to achieve this? See, by simply adding hydrogen iodide to that double bond, you will get only the Markovnikov's product and not this anti-Markovnikov's product. But how to achieve this? You need to get only this thing. Okay, so what you have to do? You have to do this reaction. Double bond. This is hydrogen and this is CH2. No hydrogen here. Okay, see, you can do this reaction hydrogen bromide in presence of peroxide. So you know HBr in presence of peroxide takes place a radical pathway and it will give you the anti-Markovnikov's product. correct? It will give you the anti-Markovnikov's bromide. See, you can ask me why I can straightly do hydrogen iodide in presence of peroxide. No, it is known only for hydrogen HBr in presence of peroxide. Okay, if you do HBr in, this is very important students, peroxide. Otherwise, if you straightly add HBr, here also you will get the anti-Markovnikov's product. See, one more hydrogen, sorry students, I have written one more hydrogen here. See, you are going to get the Markovnikov's product only. You are going to the peroxide. Due to this peroxide, it is not taking the ionic mechanism, it is taking a radical pathway. It is taking the radical pathway, and you will get the anti-Markovnikov's. Okay, your anti-Markovnikov's product. From, can you think of this bromine to, can you change this one to iodine? Can you change this one to iodine? The before example I told you, bromine to iodine, what you have to do? Yes, you have to do Fink-Kelston reaction, that is sodium iodide and acetone. Okay, so one more reaction I am going to tell you. If you have RX, okay, where chlorine or bromine, you can convert to RF. What is this reaction? This is what? Schwarz reaction. Okay, the reagents that are used are, okay, AgF, COF2, Hg2F2, and one more SbF3. Any one of this, not all this, any one of this catalyst, any one of this reagent you can use. This is for Schwarz reaction. This is also very important, okay, for converting chlorine bromine to the corresponding fluoride compound. For converting to iodine, you need simply sodium iodide to acetone, and for fluorine, any one of this reagent. Okay, so these are important 1 mark question. Okay students, so if you have any doubts, you can ask me without hesitation, and please follow me and subscribe my channel for more videos. Thank you.